What goes up also comes down. And I suspect we might be heading into a depression with inflation. Some people call it stagflation, but this one is so severe because we have a global liquidity crisis. There's no money. It's drying up fast. The biggest problems in the shadow banking system we cannot see, the euro dollar, the euro yen, and all that. So inflation is up, gold prices are down, real estate's crashing. What else could we ask for?
With price levels continuing to spike, the Fed is no longer using the word transitory to describe inflation. U.S. consumer prices jumped 7.7% in October from a year ago, still hovering near the highest levels since the early 1980s. Food and energy are still spiking at a historic pace, which could give the Fed more reason to keep raising interest rates. It's a vicious cycle criticized by many investing veterans, and Rich Dad, Poor Dad author Robert Kiyosaki is one of the latest experts to sound the alarm. The famous author of the best-selling book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, has warned that the current inflation may lead to a greater depression. He added that real estate is crashing and foreclosures are up 700% from last year. Kiyosaki isn't exactly pleased with the current state of the U.S. economy. America has stopped producing products, we produce bubbles, he says, adding that we now have bubbles in the real estate market, the stock market, and the bond market. It also spells trouble for those who want to enjoy their golden years. When the bubbles burst, Kiyosaki says the stock market will crash. So those relying on their 401k plans are toast. We don't have a retirement, our pensions are bust. Given his grim outlook, it's no big surprise that Kiyosaki is a fan of having assets like gold and silver. Precious metals can't be printed out of thin air like fiat money, and they've been helping investors preserve their purchasing power for centuries. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has given investors a new reason to check out the yellow metal. While Kiyosaki owns gold, he first purchased the yellow metal in 1972. He prefers silver in today's economic environment. In a recent tweet, Kiyosaki revealed that he had purchased 2,500 American Silver Eagle bullion coins. To be sure, precious metals aren't shooting through the roof, but they've demonstrated their resilience in this broad market sell-off. The price of gold is down about 2% in 2022, while silver is up 1.2%. The author also criticizes President Joe Biden's decision to halt the Keystone XL oil pipeline, which he believes is a major reason energy prices are so high. We would now get into the video and listen to what Kiyosaki has to say about the concerning inflationary figures. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and leave your comments below.
You know, one day the school teacher said, yeah, I said, why don't we have financial education in school? And I was talking about, the income statement, balance sheet, basically a financial statement. I always say my bankers never asked me for my report card yet. My banker wants to see my financial statement. And they don't know what a financial statement is. They say, yeah, but we teach economics. I said, which one? And they didn't know there's different economists, like Keynesian, Marxist, Malthus, exactly. Adam Smith, Ricardo. I mean, these teachers who are economists are more stupid than the students. I mean, they don't even know there's different economic theory. Well, I took a gold mine public, the richest gold mine in America. It's in Provo, Utah, went public July 8th, 2022. And our ore grade samples are through the roof, and we're going to take a NASDAQ next year, I think. So, and then I've been a gold bug since Vietnam. I tell the story of I'm on an aircraft carrier flying a gunship for the Marine Corps, and I'm looking at this thing that says gold. Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard. So what does that mean? Because they don't teach us in school. So my co-pilot and I flew behind. It was enemy lines because the NVA was North Vietnamese Army had overrun the damn place. So we went behind enemy lines. We disarmed and walked through the village in Vietnam. And all the people go, "What the hell are you guys doing?" He said, "We're unarmed. We're here we come to buy gold." And so we walked up to the window, and the little Vietnamese woman with bright red teeth, because eat betel nuts, and she was showing us gold nuggets. And I'd never seen gold, and my co-pilot never seen gold. And because it was illegal. Remember, it was illegal for Americans to own gold. So he looks at me, I look at him, and he goes, "Is that gold?" I said, "I don't know. I thought you knew." And us two idiots are standing there in front of her, and so I tried to discount it. I think it was about $50 an ounce then. up from 35,
Sure.
you know. And I tried to get it down to 40, and she just smiled at bright red teeth, says, spot. So what does spot mean? A spot on my shirt or something, you know? But I didn't know at the time, but when I got back to the ship, she educated me. This little Vietnamese woman, she educated me. Gold is money throughout the world. And why, you know why it's worth is because what we did in 2008, when the derivative markets came apart, and they just printed more money, was put this thing in a bubble. Now, the other thing, too, is globally, it's a quadrillion in derivatives.
Yes.
What people may not realize when you have a liquidity crisis, it's because they're finding out their so-called assets aren't assets. Because I'm backed up all the way with gold, silver, I have mining shares and all this, I have oil wells, I have beef, I have things the Fed cannot print. That's my claim to fame. I have no stocks, no bonds, no mutual funds, because I just don't like paper. After Vietnam, I didn't trust it.
Bubbles tend to pop eventually. When they do, many people see their wealth take a significant hit. But large declines also create opportunities for those who are willing to buy the dip. The good thing about a bubble is when they burst, everything goes on sale, Kiyosaki says. During the financial crisis of 2008, the author started buying real estate at bargain prices. Based on how much real estate has gone up since then, it's fair to say that was a sharp move. So many job layoffs were seen during this period and interest rates remain hiked. Robert says inflation is now a permanent thing and the recession will only get worse.
Interest rates just go up a little bit, and I was at a big major bank right near my house in Phoenix, and the whole place was empty. Not from customers, but their mortgage department is cleaned out.
Yeah.
And, you know, Twitter just laid off I don't know how many millions of people. Amazon's laying off people and all that. That's what that means. So we can talk about interest rates and percentages and all this stuff. But the thing is, as we said, what goes up must come down. I think we're in a serious, almost a Weimar Republic, you know, what brought Hitler to power type of situation where it's so goofy. And I'm concerned for everybody too, because they're calling for riots in Europe. China's in serious trouble, you know, because when we slow down, they slow down. So this is not just a U.S. thing. This is a global challenge we're coming up to. And one thing I want to say about inflation, it's permanent now. Do you know what I mean? When they messed with oil, they did it. So I'm going to close by saying this, you know, Chairman Powell, he just said in his last speak, he used the word pain 3 times. No, and he used the word, they're using words right now trying to warn you, and Bert and I are doing our best to warn you. Yeah. You don't have to be a victim of this whole thing. Yeah. This could be the best time of your whole life, but you've got to choose who's putting the information into your head. Saying that I have all the time, it says, don't teach pigs to sing. It wastes your time and it annoys the pig. And I can't believe how many pigs are. They go, oh, don't worry, the Fed's got my back. I buy the dips. I got a 401k. I have a government pension. And those are the things are going down. And this inflation is now systemic. It's now permanent. And the crime family known as the Bidens, they did that in 2020. What year am I in? 2020, when they got elected, they took off the Keystone XL pipeline. The price of oil went from $30 to $130 a barrel. So I'm selling oil at that time at $30 a barrel because I don't buy oil stocks. I buy oil, the oil in the ground. Went from $30 to $130 a barrel. I almost voted for Biden after that. You know, thank God. He made me a richer man. But I also realized what they're doing, what these academic, democratic, liberal greenies are doing, is that the poor will always be poor. I mean, that says in the Bible, the poor will always be amongst us. But by raising the price of oil, they took out the middle class. That's intentional.
Kiyosaki points out that this is not just a U.S. thing, but a global crisis that will affect everyone from China to Europe and the whole world, and the best thing for anyone to do is to prepare before the crash comes. What do you think of buying precious metals as Kiyosaki advised? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching.